Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today, stick with me, okay? Because it's going to be a powerful message. How do you know you're in the Devil's Sandbox? I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to tell you how to get out of it, okay? Now, some of what I say may trigger you. Some of what I say may piss you off, which AKA may trigger you. Because what I'm going to tell you, when I was in the Devil's Sandbox, like deep in the Devil's Sandbox, and you told me what I'm getting ready to tell you, I wouldn't have wanted to hear it either. Okay? But it's what it took to get me out of it. So, how do you know you're in the sandbox? You feel like shit. Nothing's going right. Things are going wrong. You think you're being attacked. You think the world has turned against you. You're having a bad day. So, you know, and you're I want to say it's like you're wallowing in victimhood, less than, lack, just anything negative. If you're not happy, if you're not in a place of peace, you're in the Devil's Sandbox. Okay? Now, how'd you get there? How do you get out of it? How you got there is from years of programming. Years of programming, limiting beliefs, your mindset, the way you talk to yourself, and none of this is judgment. None of it's judgment. I am not judging you. I am sending you nothing but unconditional love, because what I'm getting is coming from source. Because source does not want you in the Devil's Sandbox. And that's not the Devil's Sandbox like the Bible portrays of it's evil. And the only thing evil is the fact it's making you look at things about you that you don't want to look at. Your shadow work. You know, it's you owning the fact that you have to take responsibility for you. Only you can fix you. And not from a place that you're broken, but from a place of you are the reason you're in that sandbox. Nobody else. Nobody put you there but you. And the harder your struggle is, the more unhappiness you're feeling, it's because the angels that are playing with you in that sandbox, they're not there out of hate. I thought about it today. It was like, okay, so because when I do my theta healing sessions with somebody, if they have a negative entity, a negative attachment, I release it. Well, and I know what brought it in. A low vibration, because they're lower vibrational beings, because they're not playing in God's sandbox, which is love. They're playing in the Devil's Sandbox, which there is no good or bad. Okay, let me just clarify that. There is no good or bad. It's just varying degrees of love. They're on the lesser than love to you because they're bringing up bad feelings in you. They love you. They're there to help you. And it was like, in a crazy way, and I can't explain this. I get it. Their darkness is shedding the light on what you need to heal. The dark part of you that you're refusing to look at. or you have not healed yet. Every single one of them that I've ever released, and I don't get them very often, but it usually comes from the fact of, I just had an argument with my husband. I just had a bad whatever happened, and I got in a low vibration place. I got angry. I got sad. I got whatever. And I always know it because I don't feel like me. So I know when I have an attachment. My thing is, they shine the light. They bring the attention to, they bring your awareness to what attracted them. What attracted them is what you need to heal, is what you need to shine the light on and become aware of and deal with it and release it and let it go. Then, because until you do that, I can release negative energies all day long. As long as you're holding on to that low frequency, another one is going to come back. No. Let me rephrase that, because they don't come back. When I release them, they're gone. Another one will show up because you didn't do what the other one was here to help you see. We've been geared to fear. Oh my God. And I'm not saying there are not energies out there that are more negative. But what you've been lied to is Satan. And honestly, what the Bible portrays Satan as is not. There are entities, yes, but it's not what the way the Bible says it. Okay. So playing in the Devil's Sandbox is not. Sorry, had to cough. They don't want you to tell. Somebody doesn't want me to tell you this, but that's all right. They'll get over it. Playing in the Devil's Sandbox is not a bad place to be. It's only bad because it's bringing up feelings in you that you don't want to look at. It was bringing up things in me that I was refusing to look at. I mean, I remember for years, I even called, when I was, before my third marriage, I called my first husband. Yeah, don't even try to follow my life. It's crazy. I called my first husband, my daughter's dad, because obviously with a kid, you stay connected. Anyway, I was like, why don't people like me? Because I thought I was a nice person. I'd have helped you. I'd have done anything for you. Oh my God. And I will tell you, funny story really quick. When we went through marriage counseling, the counselor with my first husband, the counselor asked me, she said, well, what do you think of yourself? And I said, well, I'm a bitch. And she's like, why do you think you're a bitch? It is just because I'm honest. And don't ask my opinion if you don't want me to tell you. Because I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to lie to you. You guys have seen, I am not here to blow sunshine up your skirt. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. Tact was not in my vocabulary growing up. I have gained a little bit of tact over my life. But I was like, I would hit you right between the eyes with whatever it was. And I did not care whether it hurt your feelings. Now I come from a place of love and compassion, which is a little softer, regardless. So even back then, I knew I was a bitch. But years later, I called him. I'm like, why don't people like me? And I don't even know what he said, but what he said, I didn't want to hear it. I'm like, no, no. I blew it off, which is why I'm telling you, you probably don't want to hear what I'm telling you. And you won't hear it until you're ready. I didn't hear his words until I was ready, because I was too busy blaming everybody else. It's everybody else. Everybody else is stupid. Everybody else is wrong. No, it was me. I was keeping me in that sandbox. So again, the angels that are playing in that sandbox are not evil. They're not dark and scary. The scary thing is because your ego has to face itself. Your ego does not want to face itself, because you've been told, you've been lied to, that all of these things, you're a bad person, or you're not perfect, or you go into, yeah, well, see, I am not worthy. I am messed up. I am, so then you start judging yourself. Take a breath. Just breathe. Bring yourself back to center. Because I'm going to tell you, you are worthy. You are nothing but love. You are abundant. You are so loved, I can't even put it in words. You're not messed up. Those angels are just as much of love than the ones that play in God's box. It's you learning to control your ego instead of allowing your ego to control you. That's where the struggle comes in, because your ego is here to protect you. Your ego is here, and I'm not talking about the male ego. I'm all that in a bag of chips, and that's not the ego I'm talking about. That's arrogance. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your ego. The part of you, your consciousness, that only knows what it knows. It only leads you from what it's been told. To this point, we've been fed lies, limiting beliefs, judgments, division, fear. So don't judge yourself. Just go, well, no wonder. And then start working on you. The faster you, and I don't mean this from, the sooner you realize it's you, the sooner you can start climbing out of that box. It does not matter what you're going through. Everybody's here for a different reason. Everybody, you knew coming into this existence what it was going to take to wake you up. Some of us are much more hard-headed than others. Some of us have very strong wills. I have a very strong will. My will to be right was outweighing everything. I needed to control and be right. And all of that came from prior programming. So when you tell somebody that is here to well, no, that's not why I was here. I was here to figure this crap out and fix it so I could help you guys. But when you tell somebody who has been in control and has to be right for 50 years that's the problem, it is a hard adjustment. It is a big pill to swallow. Once you swallow that pill, you see that it's really not that hard to change. It's really not that, it's not bad. You just shift what you've been taught. You start shifting your mindset to start seeing things from a positive light. You start talking to yourself in a positive way. Again, words are powerful. When you stop, and this is where I was constantly, well, that was stupid. Whether it was you or me, it didn't matter. That was stupid. And I was constantly knocking myself and judging other people. I'm telling you, yes, I was a bitch. But it is what it is. Now I see it. That is what was holding me in the Devil's Sandbox. You need to figure out what it is what is that deep feeling? Why are you in fear? What are you afraid of? And I will tell you, chances are what you think you're afraid of is not really the bottom fear. There's something much deeper. Anytime I have done a theta healing session, they might say, in fact, I thought of a woman this morning that I worked with. She had a petrifying fear of getting breast cancer. She's like, Pam, I don't understand it. Nobody in my family has breast cancer. Why am I afraid of getting breast cancer? And when we did the session, I don't remember what it was, but it had nothing to do with breast cancer. But when we cleared that bottom fear, everything on top of it, including the fear for breast cancer, just went away. It is your ego. Your ego is trying to keep you from that bottom fear because it loves you. It never wants you to feel it, whatever it is. So it piles all this other stuff on top of it so you never get to what it is. And I say never. You can get to it. You just need to dig and figure out what it is. But once we cleared it, it completely shifted her life. She was getting ready to go on vacation with her family, and for the first time, she called me. She's like, I cannot thank you enough. She said, for the first time in my life, I was able to enjoy my vacation with my family. And I there's a lot more to that story. But what I'm telling you is your ego only knows what it knows. She was playing in the Devil's Sandbox. Once we figured out what it was that was keeping her in that box and we eliminated it, she was able to get out and go into God's sandbox and be happy and be in peace and joy and enjoy her vacation with her family. So again, the more miserable you are, and I was there, it is you fighting What it is, I see this tug of war with you and the angels, the devil's angels. You two are playing tug of war, and you are so hard-headed, you are so hell-bent that you're going to win. And they're like, no, we're here to help you. We're here to shine the light. We're here to get you out of this box. And you're saying, no, 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 no. Because you put glasses on, you put up a shield, you put up whatever, your ego. That's where your misery is coming from. It is the back and forth struggle between you and these angels, because they're there trying to wake you up, trying to help you. Meanwhile, you revert back to the bull crap that we were told before, that they're evil, they're attacking you. They're hate. They're bad. When you send them love and you send them gratitude for helping you wake up, oh my God, they gladly help you out of that sandbox. It's like they concede. No, they don't concede. They don't concede. Because they're there to do a job. When you concede and you say, okay, fine, I give up. Here, win this game. Help me out of this box. They will help you out of the box. That's the crazy. That is what makes me crazier than anything, is how much we've been lied to keep you in fear, to keep you suppressed, to keep you miserable, to keep you from stepping into your power. I'm telling you, some of you are here, some of you get what I'm saying. Others that are just beginning this journey, maybe you've been on it a while and you're going through a second dark night of the soul. I don't know. When you finally get it, that they're here to help you, and they're not evil. They're not bad. They're here for a reason. I don't want to say is what's bad. You're being bad. And not from a judgment place. Because again, you're playing tug of war, trying to because you're fighting a lie. That's what it is. You're fighting the lie. And when you step back and I'm telling you, when you get out of this sandbox and you look at what I just said, because again, this is not judgment. I send this to you from a place of unconditional love. You will see how ridiculous it is. And I'm telling you, I don't care how bad your struggle is. When you get to the other side of this, you are going to be like, oh my God, thank you. You don't see that right now. When I was going through mine, when I was playing in that Devils Sandbox and I was in it deep, and you told me I would be thankful, I'd have told you were crazy as crap. Ain't no way in hell I'm going to be grateful for this nonsense. I am. Because it got me here. It woke me up. It helped me transition into God's sandbox. There is nothing. That's a pretty powerful statement. There's nothing in religion that's going to help you get to God's sandbox. Organized religion. Because they teach limiting beliefs. They teach fear. They teach judgment. There's nothing, and you know what? I was raised in a church. None of church helped me get into God's sandbox. People that I have talked to, not even done sessions with, just talked to from my heart. They're like, Pam, I don't know what it is about you. I had one guy, I talked to him, I think, for 4 hours. He said, I have all my life, I have talked to preachers, psychiatrists, pastors, all of them, because he went to church. They prayed over him. They did all this stuff. He's like, I learned more. I gained more help and knowledge from you in 4 hours than I've gotten from all of them in my entire life, because they don't get it. I get it because I don't work in a box. I work from God's sandbox. But I don't work from limiting beliefs. I don't come from the limiting beliefs that religion will teach you. When you open up and you start healing yourself and stop blaming everybody else and stop seeing everything as negative. I mean, just like yesterday, I lost 5 baby chickens. I sat up until 2 o'clock this morning and figured out what it was. It was a fox. I could not take care of her last night. Him, it, whatever. But I will. My horse was in the way. So I could have gone into, because like my video yesterday, I said, okay, the day before I pray for, take that back. I send gratitude for world peace. And then that night, 5 of my baby chickens are killed, taken away, gone. I could have gone into, oh my God, I'm being attacked. That just doesn't happen. They've been fine. Nothing. I've had this cage that I built. I've had it for years. Why, after I send gratitude for world peace, do 5 of my hens, well, 4 hens and a rooster, who I hoped were going to be laying me eggs, get killed? You know, you can go into all that nonsense of, well, this doesn't make sense. Why is this happening? What are the chances that I talk about world peace and then all of a sudden this bad thing happens? Oh, God. You know what? I don't live there anymore. I was talking to a friend of mine this morning and I told her, I said, the crazy thing, we look at death like it's a bad thing. This is another limiting belief. Another thing to keep you miserable and sad. That's not how I look at it. Because everybody, somebody gets old and dies and we get sad. It's like, why can't you be grateful and happy for the amount of time that they were here? And I don't care how old they are. Be grateful for the amount of time you had with them. And now they're free. They're not constrained by this physical body. They've gone back to being nothing but energy and love. That's another day, another video. But what I'm saying, once you realize why, you have to realize why you're in the Devil's Sandbox. And that takes looking at you. Period. Because every time you're trying to externalize this and blame somebody else, thinking that somebody else did this to you, it's being done to you, you're being punished. You have a choice. You can choose to stay there. Those angels will play with you all day long, every day. Or you can choose to go, wait a minute. The meaning of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Look at and again, I love you. This is to help you. Look at where you are. Is what you've been doing helping you? Probably not, because you're still there. Shift. Your minds, you need to change. If you're watching videos that are putting you in fear and doom and gloom and, you were sent here to live a horrible life, or your dark night of the soul is going to kill you. You know what? You can choose to stay in that nonsense, or because there's just as many videos out there telling you you came here for a purpose. Yes, it's to figure that shit out and let it go. It's to let go of what no longer serves you. And my guess is everything that's kept you in this sandbox is not serving you at all. So figure it out from a place of love, from a place of, I choose to get out of here. This is not serving me anymore. But not from a place of victimhood or blame or judgment or any of that. But just from a place of love. You know what? It served its purpose. It woke me up. I need to work on me. I need to accept. I need to own it. And figure out what is keeping me in this box. And, and if this is you, I send you love. I was told back when I started my journey, Pam, you can't heal everybody. The challenge for you, because you want to help everybody, is realizing who really truly wants to be helped and who does not. And I have run up against people that just refuse, they just do not want to be helped. Because everything you say to them, they have a defense. And I was there until I was ready to not be there. It's like it doesn't matter what I say. They think I'm crazy or I'm wrong or you just don't get it. You don't understand. And I've been there too. I was so miserable. I would try to tell people how miserable I was. And I don't even want to go into that whole story because that is a long, drawn out story. There is nobody. It didn't matter. Nobody could have said anything to heal that anger, that resentment, that sadness inside of me. I could not have said anything. No, they couldn't have said anything to hit that deep down feeling of hate and anger and sadness that I had. I tried to pull everybody down in that hole with me. That's why I was a bitch. It was only when I realized nobody can fix this but me. And this is a place that I choose. I see it. Now I see it. And I don't want to be here anymore. I choose to leave. How do I get out of here? And then I started working on me. I started healing those aspects of me. Again, you've got to shift your mindset. You've got to start seeing the light instead of the dark, the positive instead of the negative. Everything happens for a reason and for you. Not you're being punished, you're not worthy, and it's happening to you. And if you think you came here to live a life of hell, words are powerful. You have programmed that into your brain, so guess what, my dear? You are living your hell. If you tell yourself that your dark night of the soul is going to be horrific, it's going to be horrific. If you be careful what you say. Start changing the words that you say to yourself. I can tell you everybody's dark night of the soul is hell. Because you got to go through that to get to the light. Because you're mucking through. Mucking is a good word. Put your muck boots on. Walk through those piles of poop and get to the other side. Some piles are going to be bigger than others, but put hip waders on. Cover yourself up to here if you have to with whatever. But get through it. And not from a place of doom and gloom. Is it pleasant? No. But like I said yesterday, you are birthing the new you. Is labor pleasant? No. Been there. Don't care to go back. So, but if you're a woman and you went through labor, look what you birthed, a beautiful baby. What we're birthing now is so much beyond the human existence. Because it's us tenfold. Oh, they're bringing hay in. Yeah, my horse is not back there. Sorry. It's us tenfold, at least. Anyway, if you need help, if you truly, truly, truly want to get out of the Devil's Sandbox, reach out to me. I'm here to help you. But I can tell you, I've become pretty good at figuring out those that are blowing sunshine up my skirt and tell me, oh yeah, I want to be healed. Oh yeah, I want to be happy. I want this, I want that, but I want the other thing. But you're not ready yet. So I will pour my heart and soul into those that truly do. But I don't waste a lot of time. We had a guy that lived with us for almost 30 days. My husband gave me such a hard time because he's like, Pam, I told him he could be here for 30 days. I said, yeah, but I saw pretty quickly that he really didn't want to be healed. He just wanted to drag us down into that pit with him. And I was not willing to sacrifice my house, my life for that. And it worked out. He was here 28 days. And I think my husband finally gets it because he didn't see what I saw. So, anyway, another whole story. But I love you. If this has helped you, if you're ready to get out of that box, if this has helped you, if you're already out of that box, whatever, click the like button, subscribe to my channel, share this video because everybody goes through it. They're all in some stage going from one box to the other. So have an amazing day. I send you guys so much love. Again, shift your mindset. Start talking positive things to you. Stop watching the television, for one thing. Stop watching the negative anything. Anybody that puts fear in you or puts anxiety in you, turn it off. Because you can achieve happiness if that you choose. You have to stop that tug of war with those angels in the devil's box. They're trying to wake you up. They're trying to get you to see why you're there so you can get out. Because once you see it, you can get out. It's like seeing the door, seeing the light, seeing whatever. Once you see it, you know, you can be driving down the road and you're thinking, oh, I need to get off on this exit. Once you see it, you can get off. You can't get off until you see it. Anyway, I love you. Oh my God. I want everybody to be in God's sandbox 24/7, 365. So have an amazing day. I send you lots of love and we will talk soon.